Peace and blessings is real. First and foremost, want to take this time and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through His only begotten Son, Yahushai, for allowing His word to come out, man. And I hope you sincere brothers and sisters, man, is really edified by this word tonight. And we're gonna name this word the greatest biblical explanation of the true meaning of forgiving someone. So what we're going to talk about tonight, man. Again, the name of the word is going to be the greatest biblical explanation of the true meaning of forgiving someone. In my humblest opinion, okay, when I say the greatest biblical explanation. Forgiveness, man. We're gonna speak about forgiveness, and especially to those that are in marriages, that are in relationships, those that have siblings. You guys are really gonna be edified tonight. Because if you're an Israelite, you're gonna deal with this thing called forgiveness. And a lot of us refuse to forgive our loved ones. A lot of us refuse to forgive our spouses, our best friends. It's so heartbreaking, if that's the word to use. It's so disappointing when you see the lack of forgiveness that we demonstrate as Israelites, man. And in this word tonight, man, I'm going to give you the greatest biblical explanation, man, of the true meaning of forgiving someone. Now, when it comes to forgiving, what is it? A good understanding and example of forgiving someone is to stop feeling angry and resentful towards them for wronging you would be the best way to describe forgiveness. Okay? In life, we naturally, when someone wrongs us, we naturally feel angry and resentful about it. And if you got that type of emotion going on, you're not going to be able to forgive that person. You're not going to be able to give them a pardon. You're not going to be able to exonerate them. You see? But to forgive, you have to do away with the feelings of anger and resentment towards that person for whatever wrong they have done to you. You see? Now, what you see on the screen is a man and woman. This is a couple. And from my vantage point, it appears that the man is asking for forgiveness from his wife. Okay? Now you have to say to yourself, what is he asking for forgiveness for? He's done something that his wife feels as though he wronged her. And you can see on her face, she's not happy with him, nor is she interested in forgiving him. But you sincere sisters out there, tonight, man, you're going to learn that, when your husband wrongs you and he's asking you to do away with the anger and resentment, and he asks you for a pardon, he asking you to exonerate him. If you living by biblical principles of forgiving, then you have to forgive him. Likewise, you brothers out there that have wives, okay? If your wife is asking you for a pardon, if your wife is asking to be exonerated for a wrong she's done to you, bro, you got to do away with the anger and the feeling of anger and resentment, okay? And forgive her. If we're living off biblical principles, you can't be a God-fearing, Yahweh fearing Israelite, okay, and ignore the biblical principles when it comes to forgiveness. You see, we're going to get real tonight. Now, I know instances, and I'm just going to speak in my family, okay? I got an auntie that's 67 years old, right? And her husband at the time, okay, cheated on her. And she took him back. And she hath punished him for it for over 40 years. Did y'all just catch what I said? My auntie, who's 67 years old, took her husband back over 40 years ago for cheating on her. And she have punished him for it the last 40 years. You see that? So he was under the impression that she forgave him, but she never did. Brothers and sisters, please understand, when you forgive someone, they get a clean slate at that time. Whatever they done prior to then is done. They get a clean slate. But nowadays people are not doing that, man. But like I said, when it comes to the biblical principles, your forgiveness has to line up with the Bible. And according to the Bible in Matthew 18, verses 21 and 22, Peter was inquiring about how many times you forgive someone. And the Lord told him you forgive them 70 times, 7 times, which is 490 times, which is infinity times. So if we're going to go off biblical principles, you have to forgive that person 490 times, man. But like I said, what you have going on today, you have man take the woman back and then he punish her for it. And then you have the woman take the man back and she punish him for it. And biblically, that's not correct. That's not correct, brothers and sisters. We gotta do way better than that, man. You see, whatever happened yesterday, good or bad, you leave it there. Whatever that person done to you that wronged you yesterday, you leave that shit there. Excuse my French. And you focus on now. You focus on today. You see? In the Bible, it speaks about, well, let me just say this. I don't want to jump too far ahead. But if you can practice leaving what happened yesterday with yesterday and focusing on today, if you can buy into that, you can also buy into forgiveness. If you can leave what happened yesterday, leave it there. Today is Wednesday. So if your spouse wrongs you Tuesday and now y'all on Wednesday, you got to leave Tuesday where it's at and focus on today. If you can do that, then you can forgive that same person because you're moving forward and not backwards. Now, in the Bible, it speaks about the parable of the unforgiven servant in Matthew 18, verses 21 through 35. And you can go and read it at your own convenience, but I'm just going to say this. A master forgave his servant. Okay, a master gave his servant forgiveness, one that owed him. Okay, he begged for mercy. And the master granted his forgiveness, right? That same servant that was granted forgiveness, he turned around and refused to give someone who owed him. He even choked the man and had him thrown in prison. So guess what ended up happening? The master that forgave him came back and tortured his ass and put him in jail. Now here it is. The master forgave you for the same problem the guy had with you. You see that? So how can someone forgive you and then you turn around and refuse to forgive someone else? That's exactly how we are today as Israelites, man. Somebody will forgive us and then we'll turn around and refuse to forgive somebody else, man. We'll take somebody back and then punish them for it. What is that, man? We too grown for that, y'all. You take somebody back because you love them. You take them back because you feel as though, they deserve a pardon. They deserve to be exonerated. And then you move on with your life. You move on with your relationship. Let what happened in the past stay there, man. The one forgiven much should also forgive much. But the unforgiven servant, he didn't do that, man. No mercy, no pardon. You can't do that, man. This woman is clearly not interested in forgiving her husband. And his husband's out here clearly not interested in forgiving their wives. But brothers, let me tell you something, man. If your wife have wronged you in any kind of way and she asking for forgiveness, bro, you got to forgive her 490 times, man. Because that's the biblical principle. Yahushua told Peter, his number one disciple, hey, man, forgive him 490 times. And we have to do that, y'all. We can't forgive someone and then turn around and punish them for it every chance we get. Because if that's what you're doing, you have never forgiven that person. So you have to forgive. You have to, man. You have to. I mean, you cannot bend the rules of forgiveness for your benefit. You can't do that. I mean, we all have asked someone to forgive us at some point in our lives. And if they forgave us, hey, man, it's a new day. Okay? They can't bring up what happened in the past. Because if they do, they never forgave you. And I'm going to tell you something, man. When you refuse, when you say you forgive someone, but then you remind them of what they did to you, that's non-forgiveness. And I'm going to tell you something, man. That non-forgiveness will be the cancer of your relationship. Why? Because you're going to always relive it over and over and over at your benefit. And you cannot do that. When you do that, you're taking a step backwards and not forward. Okay? The person did what they did. You forgive them. You leave it there. You move forward. You never bring it up. You never talk about it no more because it's done. It's done, y'all. It's done. Leave it there, man. It's done. You sincere sisters out there, man. Your husband done cheated on you and he asking for forgiveness and you love him and you still believe in this marriage and you forgive him, then you can't bring it back. You can't throw it in his face when it's convenient for you. You got to leave that shit where it's at. And y'all have to move forward on today, not yesterday. And you husbands, same thing, man. Your wife wronged you some kind of how, and she asking for your forgiveness. You love her and you want to make this marriage work. You have to forgive her, man. And you can't bring that shit up. Whatever she did in the past, you can't punish her for that over and over at your expense. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. That does not line up with the biblical principles of forgiveness, which is in Matthew 18:21 and 22, and also in Matthew 18:21 through 35, man. Cold-blooded, right? But this is what it is, man. Our forgiveness has to line up with the Bible, man. And I'm telling you, you're going to be better off, man, when you stop feeling angry and resentful towards that person and you give them a pardon. Everything's going to be okay, man. It's a reason why it's a yesterday, and it's a reason why it's a today, and it's a reason why it's a tomorrow. So you sincere brothers and sisters, once again, you can't bend the rules of forgiveness for your benefit to be able to throw it in their face whenever you need to or feel the need to. Because if you're doing that, that means you never forgave them. So I hope you sincere brothers and sisters out there truly understand what this is about. In Ephesians 4 and 32, it tells you, be kind to one another and forgive one another, man. When you forgive one another, guess what you're doing? It says the one forgiven much should also forgive much. Like I said, we all have we all have asked someone to forgive us. And if they forgave us, the last thing you want to hear is them bringing it back up in your face the next 2-3 weeks after they done forgave you. That's not cool, y'all. We too grown for that. We too grown for that, man. I'm telling you. You have to forgive from a heart of gratitude and grace upon those who have offended you, man. What's the name of the word, man? The greatest biblical explanation of the true meaning of forgiving someone. I just gave it to y'all. So if you married and your spouse have wronged you, listen, man. Give them a pardon. Exonerate them. Love them like you never loved them before. And move forward. What they did yesterday, leave it there. And never bring it up again. Never talk about it. Never remind that spouse or whatever they did. You don't do that. Because you have forgiven that person. So y'all on some new stuff. Y'all on some bigger and better stuff. But like I said, man, people will say they forgive you, and then they'll throw it in your face. My mom's, my mother husband, he cheated on her, and my mom's took him back. She forgave him. But every chance she get, she remind him of what he did to her. So guess what? My moms have never forgave her husband. And her husband then came to me. He know I deal with the Bible real heavy. And he then came to me and say, man, the Bible says she's supposed to forgive me 490 times. I was like, yeah, it do say that. It do say that. It absolutely says that. And my mom's just had that look on her face like, anyway. But it ain't just my mom's. It ain't just my auntie. A lot of us as human beings, this is what we do, man. We say we forgive someone and then we throw it in their face. I've been guilty of that too in the past. I've been guilty of that. But trust me, I'm new and improved, baby. I'm way more mature than I ever been. So if I forgive you, I forgive you. Truly, I'm gonna give you a pardon. Truly, I'm gonna exonerate you. Because I understand I have to forgive you 490 times. See? Yeah. So because I understand that, I have to live up to that. You dig? The one forgiven much should also forgive much. The parable of the unforgiven servant. Y'all need to really check that out, man. I'm telling you. I'm way more mature than I ever been, man. So forgiving someone is easy for me, and leaving it there is easy for me because I understand. Once you give someone a pardon, once you exonerate them, now you're moving forward. Whatever happened in the past, whatever happened yesterday, y'all leave it there, man. Don't let that shit move over into today. That's done. We starting over fresh, brand new. And that's how you do it. That's the true biblical explanation of forgiveness, to be able to give someone a pardon, to be able to exonerate someone, and to be able to leave yesterday where it's at and focus on the day, moving forward. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. I hope you sincere brothers and sisters was edified by this word. And we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, to his only begotten son, Yahushua, for allowing this word to come out. And let me tell you one more time, man. If you forgive someone, right? And then you turn around and bring it back up after you done forgave them, not only have you not forgiven them, but you have created a cancer in your relationship. And that cancer is going to be, you're going to always relive whatever that offense was over and over and over at your benefit. And if you do that, you have created a cancer in your relationship that can never be cured. Think about that, y'all. We got to be smart. One love to you sincere brothers and sisters. Amen. We all need one another, and we all have asked for forgiveness, man. Word.